Okay, and since we've gotten a basic understanding of Adobe Muse, we're going to jump ahead and do some things that are a little bit more complex. All right, so I've got three different paragraphs here. Now, they're the same for, demonstration purposes, and that's fine. But I'm going to show you how to use paragraph styles to make sure that everything stays together. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type a headline, and just for grins, I'm going to call it headline. Okay, now I'm going to select this, and up here at the text, I'm going to change this to, I like standard fonts, Verdana. Let's make it bold. Okay. We can also go in here and change the size, so let's bring it up a little bit. Let's go into our character styles panel and take a look, and then we've got paragraph styles, graphic styles, but today we're going to talk about paragraph styles. So I kind of have this the way I want it. I may want to make it all caps or things like that, and I've got all kinds of options that can do that. If I click on the text here, I can make it all caps. So let's do that. And let's go ahead and bump it up just a few more. So I have a headline style. Now under paragraph styles, I'm going to create a new style, and I'm just going to call it headline. And it's going to take that paragraph style for me. And I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to make a new one. And if you hold the option key when you click on it, it will pop up with paragraph options. And I'm going to call that one body text. Okay. So I'm going to click off of everything, and I'm going to double click on body text, and it's a paragraph tag. That works well. I'm going to double click on headline, and I'm going to actually change this and say it's a headline style. And I'm going to click OK. So I've defined those styles. Now, if I go over here and type in, and then come over here and click headline, notice it automatically changes it for me. I can do the same here and click headline, and there we go. Now I want to make sure that this is body text. So I'm going to select it and choose body text, and I'm going to select this and choose body text. Now later on, yourself or your client will decide that they want their headlines red. Okay, fine. So we're going to select this headline, and we're going to change it to red, just like the client wants. Now if we look over here in paragraph styles, there's now a little plus beside it. Okay, and if we look at our little tag that pops out, it says under the dashed line color red, and that's the change that's been made. Well, if I want them all to be color red, I can right click and I can redefine the style. And now everything will convert to that. Same thing here. If I change my body type, I don't want Arial. I want my body type to be Times. Okay. If I click on body text, it changes it back because apparently I didn't assign that paragraph to body text. Change it to Times. Right click, redefine style, and it has now redefined the style throughout the entire site. That is so easy, so good to do. Okay. Now, let's say that I want to move all three of these down. Well, I could select them and drag them, but Muse offers this little vertical move handle. If we look at the pop out, to move items below this handle, drag it up or down the page. Use Shift key to include hidden and locked items. Double click to select all the items below the handle. So if I have nothing selected and I select this and I double click this, it will select the rest of it, and I can move everything down at once vertically and bring it back up as needed. So that is nice. The other thing is these are all at different heights, and I don't like that. So I'm going to open up my Align panel. Let's see, Window, Align. There we go. And I'm going to look here. It's got all kinds of options. Well, I want to align it to the top, and that will align them all to the top. But let's say that, I'm sorry, I have them all selected. Let's say that this one is way over here. Okay. I'm going to align them to the top again, but I want them evenly distributed. So I'm going to go down here, distribute horizontal centers, and that's going to distribute and make it even between. Now align to down here, I can align to selection, to content area, or to a key object. Most of the time I just align to either the content area, which is the entire page, or to selection. So you can play with the align tool and figure out which works best for you. Okay. Now, another feature is Smart Guides. As you're going through, you can tell it's lined up. See how the Smart Guides have come up to tell me they're lined up and telling me all of this information? So using the Smart Guides will help you move throughout. Okay. The next thing, we've got a lot of widgets in the library. Today we're going to play with a button one, and we're going to grab a state button, and we're just going to bring it out. Now, like anything, I can modify this state button however I like. Let's just leave it like this for now, but know that you can change color, you can change size, you can go in here and edit the text, you can get rid of this, keep it, change it however you want. But like the other things that we've looked at, the menu items, this also has states: normal, rollover, mouse down, and active. So you can change these. I like this, but I would like this dot to be red when you roll over it. Okay, so normal, click off, click back on, normal, roll over, mouse down. When I mouse down, let's change that dot to yellow so that indicates something's happening. There we go. Click back on it, normal, roll over, mouse down, and active is back to the normal. Okay, so that's buttons. Again, it's in a widget. There's a lot of widgets to play with. You should really have some fun with that. All right, so let's talk. What if on top of all these, I want a little line? Well, unfortunately, Muse doesn't have a line option, but there's ways to get around it. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to select all three. Let's move them together a little bit. Let's just keep them together so that they're happy and we have a happy tree maybe somewhere. So I've got another panel called the spacing panel right here. And if I uncheck this, it will keep the padding separate. And I just want to add like 30 to the top. Okay, so notice that it added a little padding of 30 above. Now, what I want to do is I want to play with the stroke. And if I click on it, I can change the color. Let's say black. But down here's the key. Look at this, the weight. If I uncheck this, let's set it all to 0. Uncheck this and just set the top to 1. Now there's another option that allows you to see some stuff called hide frame edges. Hide the frame edges, click off, and now we have a line that will follow this panel anywhere we want. But you're probably like, actually, I wanted a vertical line to separate these two items here. Well, that's easily done as well. The only difference is instead of being able to draw a line, you probably need to draw just a little container box and put that line right there. We're going to go under stroke again. Just click on the stroke. We're going to set it to black. We're going to turn off our lock and set all the sides, top, bottom, and right to 0. And now if we click, we have a vertical line, which, believe it or not, was a lot harder to do when you were coding for the web. Okay, so you can do that vertical, you can do horizontal lines the same way. So it gives you a nice little line. So quick separator lines, piece of cake. Once you're done, and once your edges back, show frame edges, you've got your little boxes that you can drag. All right, last thing that we're going to talk about, well, we're going to talk about 2 more things, maybe 3. I get excited. One thing to keep in mind is Muse cannot make dash lines, so if you wanted a dash separator, do it in Illustrator, place it as a graphic. It looks better and it will scale well. Okay. All right, so another thing I want to show you, another widget, and this one's really cool. Okay, so we've got buttons and all of these, but look at slideshows. Let's pull out a slideshow, and here we can populate it, add images. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go to one of my images for the Kickstarter. So I've got countdown graphics, And these are little banners that I would put up there. I can put all 14 days if I want, but for this, I'm just going to do 5. I'm going to open them, and you'll see it pop up here. I can resize this to go across my page if I want. It's by grabbing, clicking, and resizing. And oh, it's already going across let me hide this so that I can see better. There we go. So click on here. We've got all kinds of options. Fill frame proportionally, fit content proportionally. You've got fade, transition, autoplay, resume after 3 seconds, just play once. You can shuffle it. You can enable a swipe if they're on touch-enabled devices. I don't mess with Lightbox. Sometimes I'll go full screen. Sometimes I won't. Freeform thumbnails that stick out. So I want previous and next. I'm going to turn off captions, and I'm going to turn off counter, but I'm going to turn on thumbnails so that I get nice little thumbnails that I can look at. Again, up to you how you do it. You can play with this and mess around with it. And again, to get there, you just click on this and look for your little blue thing. Well, I can click on these next handles and bring them down. And of course, you can put this anywhere you want. I'm just going to throw it here. Notice when I clicked on it, though, it's going back and forth. This tells you whether it works or not. Okay, you can also click on these images up here and go. And again, you can lay the thumbnails out however you want them. Just grab them. Maybe you want a nice long list and bring it below. And just lay it in there however you want it. Click on this. See, it's gone all the way to the edge of the page. You can bring it in, bring it up, do whatever you want. Okay. You've got full control, and that's the cool thing. You can place this wherever you want on the page. Right, here's your slideshow options. Bring that up, bring these up, lay it out however you want. And then when you preview it, you have nice slideshow. Now, my graphics are a little off. You'll forgive me, right? Because you love me. All right, but see, it'll automatically do it, or I can manually do it. Or I can just click on my thumbnails. Lots that you can do with this. It is really, really versatile. So literally the sky is the limit. One last thing we're going to talk about. And you probably have a contact us page, because if you don't, what good is it, right? My contact us has no contact way to contact me. Well, guess what? There's a form for that, or there's a widget for that. Look down here. You also have widgets for socials, panels, compositions. And you can get more if you want. But for now, we're going to grab a form. A detailed contact form is nice. So let's take a look. You can name the form, where you're going to email it to. After sending, you can stay on the current page, or you can go to a different page or link to a file. If you had a page that said, "Thank you for filling out my form, we'll be in touch," you can ask them for cell number, take it away, name. I don't want your name. I want your email. I don't want your company, work phone. You can add a home address. Okay, you can add custom fields, multi-line text, radio button, checkbox, all of that. Edit it together so you make changes to the text. It'll change it. You can modify it just like we've done with everything else. You can even add a Google CAPTCHA down at the bottom. Now you'll need a public key for that, so you'll have to go get a key and a private key. You just click Learn More for that. Require entry. You can change the theme and do all kinds of things. So that's going to get you more into Muse. There's still more that we haven't even touched on. There's so much to Muse, it's not even funny. So there'll be another video next week adding even more capabilities to it as well.